Kafji, the substation is burning. This is the second strike in 90 minutes. This looks like a simple power outage. It is not. It is the anatomy of a grid kill. To understand the collapse, you have to understand the system that was built to prevent it. Modern grids are designed for redundancy, with multiple pathways for electricity to flow. If one line is cut, the system automatically reroutes power through others. This resilience is managed by high-voltage substations, the critical nodes that step voltage up or down for transmission. Kafji is not just any node. It is a 500 kilovolt hub linking the national grid to 3 major cities. It is the system's designated strong point. Start with the first strike. The target was not the whole station, but one specific component, the auto-transformers. These are massive, custom-built machines. They weigh over 300 tons each. They are not off-the-shelf parts. Replacement time is not days or weeks. It is months or years. The first missile destroys 2 of them. The system reacts as designed. Alarms sound. Breakers trip. Power is rerouted around the damaged Kafji node. The lights in the cities stay on. For 90 minutes, the system works. Redundancy holds. Then comes the second strike. This is the double tap. A tactic designed not just to damage, but to prevent recovery. The second strike does not hit the remaining transformers. It hits the control building and the switch yard. This is the physical infrastructure of the grid's brain. The system can no longer reroute power because the system can no longer think. Here is where the cascade begins. The generating stations that fed Kafji now have nowhere to send their power. The frequency of the entire grid starts to spike, a condition called over-frequency. To protect themselves from damage, the power plant safety systems automatically take them offline. One after another, a domino effect. Now the grid has the opposite problem, not enough generation. The frequency collapses, under frequency. To save the whole grid from a total blackout, automated systems begin load shedding. That is the clinical term for intentionally cutting power to entire neighborhoods and cities. But there is too much load to shed and not enough generation left. The cascade becomes an avalanche. Not a blackout, not a brownout, a black start condition. A black start means the grid is so dead it can't even power itself back up. You need an external power source to restart the first power plant, which then restarts the next, piece by painful piece. But the double tap at Kafji destroyed the control systems needed to coordinate this delicate sequence. The recovery is not difficult. It is mathematically impossible. Watch what this does to the rest of the infrastructure. The water system depends on electric pumps to maintain pressure and fill reservoirs. No power means no pumps. No pumps means no water pressure. Within 12 hours, the taps in 3 major cities run dry for 4 million people. The grid failure makes the water problem worse. Let's talk about the hospitals. They have backup generators, a hard requirement. Those generators run on diesel fuel, a finite supply, typically 72 hours worth. But the fuel refineries and pipelines that supply the diesel also need electricity to operate. The grid is down, the refineries are down, the pipelines are down. There is no resupply. The 72-hour clock is not a buffer, it is a deadline. The water shortage makes the hospital problem worse. Now, communications. Cell towers have battery backups, enough for 4 to 8 hours. After that, the network that connects the towers, the core network, fails without grid power. No cell service, no internet, no credit card transactions, no access to information. The inability to communicate paralyzes repair efforts for the grid, water, and fuel systems. This is systemic deconstruction, not one target, but one target that makes every other system fail. The integration that makes the complex efficient in normal operations is the same integration that makes it catastrophically fragile. The objective was never just to turn off the lights. It was to dismantle the trust that the lights will ever come back on. This is the specific human reality that the numbers contain but do not convey. A strategic attack on infrastructure is a strategic attack on social cohesion. The weapon is not the missile. The weapon is the cascade. Here's what this means from this morning forward. It means the distinction between civilian and military targets is a function of engineering, not just law. It means the most critical vulnerabilities are not the most obvious ones. And it means the new battlefield is the complex web of systems that sustains modern life. Recovery is no longer a given. Resilience must be designed against this specific tactic, the deliberate, methodical execution of a system. The threshold of what is considered an act of war has been redrawn, not with soldiers crossing a border, but with electrons failing to flow. The wreckage is real. What destroyed it is the dispute over the system itself. A temporary outage is a problem, a permanent one is a strategy. Kafji, still burning.